Ogun.
All right. Welcome to Security Brief, your monthly guide to most important cyber threat, talking about incident worldwide. I am Dr. Oludare Ogunlana, founder of Ogun Security Research and Strategic Consulting, your trusted partner when it comes to cyber defense, training, and intelligence. In today's episode, we're going to dive into major cyber incidents that occur in the month of May and June 2025. We're going to look at 10 major cyber attacks across Africa and review some of the most critical global breaches, including ransomware attack, state-sponsored espionage, and also mass credential theft that we've seen around the world and in Africa. As more countries and companies embrace digitalization, the risk of cyber attacks grow every day. In fact, the threat landscape is increasing every day. And today, we shine light on those risks and show how Ogun Security is helping organizations to protect their information asset. And let me start, from Africa. As I've mentioned, it's like Africa is under siege. According to the Interpol report for June 2025, I'm talking about the cyber threat report, cybercrime now accounts for more than 30% of reported crimes in African countries. And let's take a look at 10 major incidents in between May and June 2025. And I will start from Nigeria with case of Flutterwave, where $7 million stolen in sophisticated scam involving WhatsApp grooming and fake crypto investment. You get to be very careful when people are inviting you to invest in kind of cryptocurrency. You know, we see that all the time. You see them on Telegram channel, you see them on WhatsApp. You have to be very careful, very, very careful. Make sure you do your due diligence, do your homework. And that is what we see in what happened in the month of June, where $7 million was stolen from Flutterwave. In South Africa, hackers breached internal system where some files were leaked, and I'm talking about Eastplat. So Eastplat, the same South Africa, the South African Airways witnessed distributed denial of service attack where their internal system and their website, everything disrupted. But good news is that they were able to restore operation within hours by activating their BCP, their business continuity program. So quickly, it's always good to plan. It's always good to have standby incident response team. And we've seen that happening in the case of South Africa, where they're able to respond immediately and they are able to restore operation within hours. In Cameroon, ransomware attack disrupted electricity services when the attacker targeted ENEO, one of the major electricity company in the country. And as a result of that, a lot of people, they could not have access to electricity. And let me move to Namibia. In Namibia, the Telecom Namibia, over 400,000 customer files, they were stolen and they were leaked in the dark web. So by a group called Onta International Ransomware Group. So they were behind that attack. And let me move to Kenya. In Kenya, official email system flooded with spam during a public consultation of financial bill, causing shutdown. The essence of launching that kind of spam is to take control of the resources of that server and eventually lead to denial of service attack. And that's exactly what happened. Within hours of launching that kind of spam attack against the server, everything shut down. And the same thing in Morocco. In Morocco, more than 20,000 documents, about 4.8 gigabytes, leaked by activist group called Jabarut. Their name is called Jabarut. The same thing in Morocco, 27 cyber attacks in 1 week, compromising 16.6 terabytes of sensitive data. There's a group called No Name 057. They claim responsibility for the attack. Coming back to Nigeria, we've seen ongoing sextortion and business email compromise scams that have cost victims over $19 million. Yes, $19 million. We see that happening in Nigeria every day. And if you look at African-wide trend, cybercrime losses estimated over $3 billion since 2019, with most incidents underreported. Most organizations don't even report when that happened. And I will keep saying that for us at Ogun Security, we're going to help your organization across Africa to detect this threat in real time. We do early monitoring the dark web, see all the exposure, and ensure that we prepare for ransomware kind of attack or fraud from government offices to telecom provider. We provide real-time monitoring, threat analysis, and response simulation. So make sure you visit our website to see how we can partner. Now, let me look at global cyber threats. Let's see what we've seen in the world. Globally, May 2025 saw about 44 significant breaches and more than 1.4 billion data exposed. And I will just mention a few of the notable incidents. That of Facebook, the API scrape, where 1.2 billion records allegedly leaked, including names, emails, and location. Also, we see credential leaks where 184 million email and password pairs exposed online at the same time. And don't forget the case of AT&T, where unverified breach claimed 31 million record compromise. And you remember Iran and Israel conflict. Even though within 12 days, they've agreed to cease fire. But beyond that, the battle has been moved, and it has become a kind of cyber warfare. Over 35 million activist groups launched attacks on critical infrastructure. And one of the attacks wiped $90 million from a crypto exchange. That's huge as well. In the United Kingdom, ransomware attack compromised up to 20 million customers' record. That's very bad as well. And in the United States, we see LexisNexis. Data breach affected 364,000 individuals, including social security numbers and addresses. So looking at everywhere in the world, there's a Wisconsin local government ransomware attack that impacted 67,000 residents. And healthcare also, there have been a kind of rise in attack in healthcare infrastructure from hospital in Ohio to Dubai and New Hampshire. All of them, they were hit by ransomware attack. And also in the United States, there's a company called Fiasat in USA. That company was targeted by Chinese espionage campaign. Saw Typhoon. So that's global trend. And let's take a look at emerging trend. What we've seen in recent time is AI-powered attacks, where cybercriminals use AI to create realistic phishing and polymorphic malware. Don't forget, in the past, when you see any kind of suspected phishing attack, we always tell you, look at the grammar, look at everything. Today, you can use AI to write any language, whether you want to communicate in German, you want to communicate in French, you want to communicate in English, whether American English or UK English or Australian English. AI can do that for you perfectly, and it takes time for you to be able to identify all those things we always tell you to look for in those days. Now they are perfecting their ways of doing things. So be on the lookout for that. We've seen activism on the rise and geopolitics conflict. Again, let me talk about Iran and Israel. They battle now, even though after 12 days of war, they've stopped fighting, but the battle has spilled over into cyber warfare. So we've seen that all the time. We've seen a kind of attack being intensified against, it's actually globally, right? We've seen that. So we've seen supply chain attacks as well, where vendors and partners remain key target. So it's always important. Third-party attack, third-party risk is always a problem. So your organization must take focus on that, on your supply chain. So because we've seen the supply chain attack on the rise. And as I've mentioned earlier on, healthcare industry the vulnerability is so high today. So they still remain vulnerable. Hospital are prime ransomware target. And that's what we've seen in the month of May and in the month of June. So also regulations tightening. We've seen EU, US, in the United States, we've seen some states, coming out with different kind of law, including Texas. There's AI law, which is going to be in effect by September. Last year, we'll have Privacy and Security Act. So we've seen this happening in all parts of the world, EU, US, Australia, all of them now enforce stricter security laws. The purpose of that is to ensure that your data, for your own data and my data, everything is secure. And organizations, they owe us that responsibility to ensure that they keep our data safe. So if you promise that my data is going to be safe in your organization, you better do everything to ensure that all those things are safe. And again, in every end today, you see mobile devices. In every homes, you see IoT. In our hand, you see IoT. So as a result of that, we've seen the exploit. We've seen that kind of attack on the rise. Insecure devices create more attack opportunity, and the bad guys are taking advantage of that. And that's part of the trend. And we will recommend to individual and organization to adopt what we call zero trust. Always verify users and their devices. Don't just take things from face value. Adopt that zero trust. Enable multi-factor authentication. At this point in time, all of us know that password is not enough to make your account secure. It's important to activate and enable multi-factor authentication for organization, and it must be compulsory. So patch software and backup data. Don't forget 3-2-1 rule. Make sure you patch software so that all those vulnerability that the bad guys can take advantage of has been patched. And again, conduct regular security training and phishing tests. Human, we are the first line of defense, and we are the weakest in the chain of security. So conducting regular security training and phishing tests is very important. Before your system, before your machine get compromised, somebody must get compromised first, and that's your employee. So employee training is very important, and that's where Ogun Security come in handy. Reach out, to us for different kind of training that is going to be tailored to your reality. So monitor the dark web for stolen data, and also run incident response drill every quarter. In fact, a lot of organizations, they don't even have incident response team. They always wait until when things happen before they start running scatter. We need to be proactive in doing that. We have to have incident response team in place at every point in time. So for us, from financial scams in Nigeria to hospital data leaks in Dubai, so the past 2 months has been hectic, with services ranging from red team simulation to endpoint protection. Ogun Security help organization build trust and resilience. And again, I will invite you to visit our website, www.ogunsecurity.com, or just reach out to us on our official email to schedule consultation. Again, I will tell you, stay safe, stay informed, and secure your digital future with Ogun Security.